Hello and welcome everyone to this Warcraft replay. Welcome back to this third and final game of this Best of 3 series. Uh, yeah. Either way, Yumiko versus WFZ. The series is tied up 1-all, which is, why we have a game 3. In the top left we have DHC's Yumiko spawning in as the red human player, and his opponent is going to be WFZ spawning in as the blue undead player on the top right. Map is on Echo Isles, and yeah, this hopefully will go fairly smoothly. Last game was relatively short, unlike the first game, which actually lasted quite a long time. Um, it's actually been a day since I've casted the first two games, so I'm trying to remember what exactly happened. I am aware that Yumiko won the first game, and kind of took a while to do that. But in game 2, it seemed that WFC had just completely obliterated Yumiko in game 2. I'm trying to remember kind of what exactly happened though. I don't remember. I it, uh, I think it was just basically WFC took advantage of the close spawn in Turtle Rock, and yeah, I guess just completely rolled over Yumiko with his massive and I guess highly advanced army. I think that's what happened. Either way, just you probably watched game 2, so you probably know what exactly happened. Yumiko is gonna go for a Mountain King start, so this is rather an extremely aggressive indicator right here. Mountain King, oh, there we go with the Storm Bolt, a little bit of wasted mana, I believe. And it looks like WFZ is actually going to steal that Shadow Priest. Would have been nice if he managed to steal that Shadow Priest, like completely retreated him back to base, but it does not look like that's going to happen. Yumiko has decided to change creep camps as the Shadow Priest is no longer available. Usually Shadow Priests would be picked up by human, Night Elf, and I guess you could argue Orc players on Echo Isles, but seeing as WFZ actually picked up the Shadow Priest for himself, not only that, but he actually spent his own resources to do that. It is going to delay a little bit. We did have the Graveyard start. Graveyard after Tomb of Relics. This will slow, just a little bit delay that tier 2, but now we go to that tier 2. It does look like the gold spent on the Shadow Priest will actually delay one, or not one, just Crypt Fiends in general. And it looks like, oh, we're gonna go for additional ghouls. So he might just be going more ghouls just to try and face that Mountain King, I guess. That's the mindset of WFZ. He does have 4 ghouls. That is a little more than enough, I think. But yeah, we do hear that Arcane Tower shooting against those skeletons. Skeletons take additional damage as they are summoned units. And yeah, it's not really the best usage of the Rod Necromancy, no, because that is an expensive item. So yeah, WFZ, I believe he's just sitting on that Ziggurat right now. He is 18 over 20, and I think that was, I guess he kind of forgot or something, but no matter. We still have no Crypt Fiends, which is actually the biggest thing to point out so far. And Yumiko has yet to take up to keep, so this is definitely going to be an expansion attempt right here. Unfortunately, the Ochre Magi was not able to be picked up by the Deathcore right there. As you can see, the DK does not have any experience. Almost missed that peasant, but thankfully there are skeletons to try and fix that. We did have a surround over here on the Death Knight, and yeah, wow, that was rather impressive to say the least, I guess. Taking advantage of the... It doesn't last very long, but at least it's still a stun from the Stormbolt. Mountain King probably going to pick up his boots of speed. Oh, TB staff and selling the +6 claws. Apparently the boost speed is not exactly that necessary on the Mountain King, which, well, it could be argued, I guess. But boost speed is actually an expensive item. Long distance creeping over here, and I believe these are all the ghouls that are harvesting lumber, and yes it is. Wow, we actually have a Griffin actually stuck here? Is this Griffin really stuck? Might have been a misplay from WFZ. That would be kinda clumsy. The item is a circlet of nobility, so it could be picked up by the Lich that is actually coming out right now from that Altar of Darkness. Mountain King trying to deal with these pesky skeletons. Skeletons were able to kill one of the peasants, but it does not look like they will be harassing for any longer because the Arcane Tower is finally up. Now the DK. Oh, apparently we have a couple of footmen actually being rather annoying as well, and this footman will actually be taken out. It was taken out by the Halls of the Dead, as the DK still did not get any additional experience. Now the Lich is out, and apparently the Crypt Fiend was not stuck. I believe he was able to fit through right there. I guess. Who knows? But yeah, Yumiko is now mining off 2 gold mines. He does have an arcane vault being placed down over here. We do have a lumber mill over here as well. And this, I guess this looks like just a solid opening for Yumiko. He did pick up his Troll Shadow Priest and the Troll Berserker from that mercenary camp, and that pretty much says something, I guess. Now, the Lich still doesn't have the Circlet of Nobility. It looks like it was left alone. Yes, it was. A little questionable, I guess you could say, from WC's decisions. Anyway, Ogumolo Camp is going to be taken out here. It is a little bit difficult, but not too challenging, as there are multiple ways of actually healing up those footmen. Wow, Mountain King is not actually going to... Oh, there we go. I was thinking he was not even going to attempt to try and pick up those items. That footman looks pretty much dead, and yes, I am actually correct by that. Now, the Lich is a solid choice against humans and both humans and orc players, because Frost Armor is actually an ability that is still commonly used by the Lich. Although it will sacrifice some mana and I guess the ability to actually cast Frost Nova, or maybe even Dark Ritual, you know, either one of those abilities. But Frost Armor pretty much reduces the damage, potential damage dealt by any melee users, including the Mountain King, as well as orc units like the Grunts, Raiders, and of course the Blade Master. Now, it looks like this Troll Berserker has yet to be taken out. I don't believe this guy has the Tome. No, he does not. I believe it was a Tome of Knowledge that was used by the Mountain King. Yeah, I think that was it. Level 2 Lich. There we go, the Frost Nova. So he's decided to go for Frost Nova as well as Frost Armor. So, I mean, the Lich could pretty much burn his mana very quickly. But there we go with the second Obsidian statue. So mana does not seem to be that much of a problem, because it can just be restored with the Spirit Touch. There we go with a Stormbolt into a surround. Frost Armor is going to, I guess, affect most of those footmen. There we go, Troll Berserker being taken out with the Frost Nova. And all Yumiko, I guess, got from that was just one Crypt Fiend. Yeah. Anyway, we are researching Burrow. Obviously that Stormbolt is a little bit troublesome. The only problem is that Burrow really needs to get out before the Stormbolt hits, because the Stormbolt stun is actually rather lengthy on normal units like the Crypt Fiend. How long is the stun? I believe it was like 3 seconds or something ridiculous like that. Either way, sentry wards have been placed down over here and over here. This will most likely... Well, it's basically Yumiko can see nearly the entire map, entire half of the map actually, The only blind spot is over here, which sometimes can be used as a common route for players over here. Either way, Destroyer form is being researched. We do have tier 3 up, and the Orb of Corruption is in that Lich's inventory. There we go with the Mountain King going for a Stormbolt on the Lich. The Lich is rather squishy, so I guess he really shouldn't be taking those Stormbolts, and needs to be careful just in case of any surrounds. Yumiko is actually going to play it even more safe than I actually thought. He is placing down many towers in his main base. This has yet to take up, as it looks like Yumiko is actually taking up his main expansion. Something we saw, I believe. Was it something we saw? No, I think it was something else. I was too busy watching StarCraft actually, so I might be a little confused with that. Either way, we have our first destroyer up in the air. Can't absorb anything for mana, so this is not really going to be too threatening. However, it is looking to actually kill the Shadow Priest, which actually does. TP Staff to the main base, and Yumiko is going to try and defend against this push right here. Frost Armor and Death Coil to try and save that Crypt Fiend right there. However, it will not actually stop the Mountain King. He will not care. There we go with another Stormbolt, but the Death Coil did try and did try to actually heal up that Crypt Fiend. Unfortunately, that was not enough. Anyway, we have 2 Arcane Towers and 5 Guard Towers ready to actually defend the space. This Arcane Vault does not look like it was smartly placed down. Definitely not, I don't think. Clarity Potion is going to be purchased on the Mountain King. However, that will force him to be out of combat for a while. WFZ is losing Crypt Fiends, and that is not a good sign, especially since he didn't actually start with that many. Mainly because of that little delay over here with the Shadow Priest, and to be fairly honest, it didn't really affect Yumiko's creeping at all. It just kind of forced him to change the order that he actually goes for. Either way, Destroyer is in the back of the base. We do have the first Arcane Tower being placed down. I don't think we're gonna have more because it's really hard to squeeze other buildings out. So surprisingly enough, we do not have the Sacrificial Skull, which would pretty much create a camp for those Crypt Fiends to actually make a campfire and just lay waste to the human base, but that will not matter. We do have a meat wagon a couple while ago, and we will start battering down the towers. However, peasants will try and repair those towers, but you know, that is exactly why siege engines or siege weapons are good, because they do splash damage and they can damage the surrounding workers that actually repair the units. So Yumiko gonna go straight into Spellbreakers, who I guess technically should be statistically better against those Crypt Fiends. However, we only have 1 Spellbreaker, so I don't think he will be that impactful against 4 Crypt Fiends, 2 meat wagons, 2 heroes, and 2 statues. We actually have also that Destroyer still alive as well. Yumiko went Paladin second, so instead of going that possibility of a mana battery with the Blood Mage, and the excellent utility actually gives with the Flame Strike and Banish, he went for just the simple healing with the Paladin. Of course, the Paladin can also turn his Holy Light into a weapon and actually deal some direct nuking against WFZ's units, kind of like the Death Coil, but in my opinion not exactly that high in damage nor in health. Either way, there we go with another Stormbolt, picking off a Crypt Fiend right there, but there we go with a nice Frost Nova, taking down at least 1 militia, but it will be rectified with a Scroll of Healing. There we go with a Stormbolt on that Lich. This does not look favorable for him. However, the statue was able to pretty much deny that complete surround. Oh, never mind. That exactly not what happened. There we go with the Greater Healing Potion right there. Frost Armor is trying to be casted on that Lich. However, we did have an Abolish Magic coming in from the Shadow Priest. Nice reaction times right there from Yumiko, and surprisingly enough, I thought WFZ was actually going to retreat, but apparently that was Yumiko instead. We did have Disease Cloud being, I guess, launched against the main army as well as these towers. However, buildings are immune to pretty much disease cloud. These peasants, however, are not so lucky. I think disease cloud wears off, like, eventually. Not the visual effects, but just the damage itself. Sometimes, I think. Or I might be mistaken, who knows. Either way, level 2 on the Paladin, so he is going to have that very annoying ability called Divine Shield. It is very annoying in Hearthstone. It is also still very annoying in Warcraft 3. Basically, it gives him that invulnerability for, I believe, 80 mana, so yeah, that is kind of nice, especially since invuln potions cost so much in the merchants. Either way, looking at the main expansion for Yumiko, he does have the Magic Sentry research, so those arcane towers will be able to provide the free reveals. The shades will not be able to infiltrate this base at all. Destroyers can, because they are actually high in health. Castle, we're having a castle tick already from Yumiko. This is rather odd. Somehow, Game 2 is suddenly flashing back to me. I remember that knights were actually a thing. Knights and I believe flying machines. Yeah, actually not even flying machines, just the lack of siege engines. Yes, now I remember. Now I remember why Yumiko could not win in Game 2, because he didn't go siege engines. Oh, that was such a letdown, I guess you could say. Invisibility potion on the Mountain King. You usually see those when human players can't really make something happen. They just take advantage of the vulnerabilities of those workers and takes advantage of it by slipping in that Mountain King. However, it does not look like that's going to happen. Instead, the MK is just tailing the main undead army, which army supply is 64 versus 64. However, you can't tell how much of that is actually put into workers. Sadly, that is only a StarCraft 2 exclusive, like, statistic. It would be so great if Warcraft actually had a modern version of it. Either way, we're gonna go into sieging this main base again. Some could, I guess, argue that attacking the expansion would be better because it has most of the tech actually in it. But actually, it looks like I'm gonna be wrong again, as we have double Griffin Aviaries placed in the back. Alongside that Arcane Sanctum, I believe this has a lot more technology than the main expansion actually has. There we go with the Nova Coil combination, trying to take down the Paladin. However, the Divine Shield will be able to fix that nicely. We did have a Spellbreaker Surround on that DK, and it will force that TP scroll being used. So the army supply is now 63 versus 56 from Yumiko. So apparently Yumiko lost more than WFZ in that engagement, which I guess is very surprising. Yeah. I did hear a lot of militia being taken out, but wow, it looked like a lot more has actually died for WFZ. There is 2 Crypt Fiend corpses right over here. I think a couple of footmen got taken out, but that's still a thing. I don't know. We do have 1 A-bomb. I don't think we have a second one incoming, but no matter. There we go with a level 2 Stormbolt right there, and there we go with a Holy Light to try and finish off that Crypt Fiend, which was eventually killed off. There we go with the Holy Light, trying to heal up that Mountain King, basically trying to rectify the damage dealt by the Death Coil. Level 4 on that Lich. We do have another Destroyer in the air, and the Troll Berserker is actually being focused down. Oh, Yumiko needs to be careful with those militia. Every bit of experience basically just gives the DK and the Lich even closer to level 5, which is not something you would like to face. No level 3 abilities. I guess I don't know where I was gonna go for that. Who knows? It's a shame we don't have any bash procs. Oh, never mind. Speak of the devil, and it actually happens. There we go with another one, and the mate wagon is actually being destroyed. So where did the 4th destroyer go? There it is. So 4 destroyers in the air, not particularly effective against the spellbreakers at all because they can't actually deal damage to it. But it's vice versa basically, so yeah. However, that does, I guess, make the targeting a little easier for those destroyers as they will attack the heroes, or maybe possibly the militia. One Frost Nova could actually kill so many peasants. Meanwhile, the expansion, I'm not sure if WC actually... Oh, he does realize that Castle Tech has actually finished, so I'm guessing his unit composition will be a little bit more vast in number. I mean, this is typically what undead players try to aim for in terms of composition. Crypt Fiend, A-Bomb, Destroyer, Statues, that's basically it. They don't add in anything else unless they feel the situation actually requires it. Do we have any tier 3 units? That's like the question right here. It looks like one of the aviaries have been destroyed or at least cancelled. No, we have masonry upgrades 3? Yes, that's 3, so that's going to make the buildings a lot more harder to be taken out. We don't have any knights, we don't have... No, we don't have any griffins either. I don't think blacksmith is even placed down. There we go with double workshop. Oh, actually blacksmith is here. Well, duh, why is the griffin aviary? Actually, no. Yeah, let's stop that. I don't want to make myself look dumb. Spell steal... Not spell steal. Summon steal is finished right now, and not sure why that was actually researched.
A player's forces are under attack.
What can these guys actually summon? I don't think Rotten Necromancy is being used anymore, so it's rather odd to actually pick up that upgrade. Either way, this destroyer is keeping tabs on this really melee-centric army. Even though these spellbreakers are technically ranged, they are considered melee. Actually, I would consider them melee. Well, not melee. I guess just anti-ground. Anti-ground. Holy Light to try and keep the Mountain King alive. Obviously, you don't want to go into battle as you're slowly being tickled by a destroyer. No, that's stupid. We do have a Haunted Gold Mine coming in from WFZ, so obviously this is how things would go. If WFZ is playing as great as this without a second base, imagine what he would actually become if he does have that second base. Just imagine that in your heads as we see WFZ chasing these spellbreakers. Oh, there we go with a turnaround and a Stormbolt to the face of the DK. And he is going to be quickly surrounded. There we go with a lesser invulnerability potion right there. Invulnerability for 7 seconds. There we go with the MK's own one as well. I believe a bunch of scrolls have been exchanged with one another. The Lich has been taken out, which I just noticed right now, and the TP scroll for the Mountain King is going to be activated. So rather... Oh, it looks like the two heroes have been jammed in a hard spot right there and will destroy one of their towers. Scroll of Healing, I believe, will be coming in very soon. There's a Clarity Potion. Where is the Healing Scroll?
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, it actually has been given to the Paladin. So either way, this is going on for quite some time now. And the Haunted Gold Mine has been restarted. Basically, both gold mines have been pretty much sapped out, right, by both players, and they are solely relying on their second gold mine. However, the main thing is for Yumiko, his only gold mine is about to run out. Thankfully, he does have almost, or is it over 2,000 gold in the bank. Yeah. Meanwhile, WFZ has about 12,500 potentially to mine out. So yeah. And both players have been sitting on low upkeep for a very long time, so they are basically getting 7 gold per trip, or per tick. Either one. And which army is actually favored, to be fairly honest, I have no idea. 57 versus 68. I honestly think that WFZ has the superior army here, mainly because Yumiko's army is only consisting of spellbreakers and militia. Not as many Crypt Fiends as I would have thought. However, there is 2 abominations, so they hopefully will do well against those spellbreakers, or at least try and minimize the damage they deal. The only problem that I can see with WFZ is Yumiko's great hero focus fire. As you saw before, he managed to take out, well, he was intending to take out the Death Knight, but ended up with the Lich and ran away mostly unscathed. Here we go with a lot of flying machines. Where did these guys come from? They do indeed have the air to ground attack upgrades, and they will siege this haunted gold mine. I honestly did not expect Yumiko to start using those workshops. What happened to... What? Seriously, why didn't I pick this up? I don't know. I think the observers did not realize this either, which actually is very surprising. And it looks like these acolytes are actually repairing this gold mine instead of harvesting it. Oh, it looks like one of, or at least a couple of these flying machines will be taken out. Yeah, a bit of a loss right there for Yumiko. He did lose a couple of flying machines. To be fairly honest, he shouldn't be affording to use the resources he has. Apparently the 2,500 gold in the bank was not enough. He is down to 500 and only has about a minute at most worth of gold. I think it's a minute. But yeah, invisibility. Oh, I thought the MK bought an invisibility potion, but apparently sorceresses are now added to the army mix. Invisibility is an adept ability, and polymorph is that tier, the master's ability. So I would like to see some polys, but oh well. To be fairly honest, polys on those abominations would be disastrous. There we go with a level 3 Stormbolt, one-shotting basically one ghoul. There we go with this huge fight right now. Destroyers will be sniped by those flying machines, and you see the flying machines actually affecting the battle, because as soon as they take out the destroyers, they will start attacking the ground units. Even though they don't do that much, the Crypt Fiends can... There's only a limit to how much Crypt Fiends can actually web units. There we go with a last second invulnerability potion on the Lich. And there we go with the Death Coil, healing him up. Was that a Death Coil? Yeah, I believe it was. Either way, it looks like the DK is now the target right there. We'll be able to try and heal up the Crypt Fiend. Last minute, level 5 Death Knight has been taken out, and we do have a Blood Mage coming out as well, giving mana to the Mountain King. Yeah, that's not what you want. You don't want, in your final battle, a mana battery just giving power to the Mountain King. Mountain King is very close to level 6. Will we see an Avatar last minute? Who knows? I believe one Crypt Fiend could actually do it for the Mountain King. Will it actually happen? GG from WFZ. We will not have that Avatar anytime soon, and that is going to be the series. Yumiko takes this 2-1. The next series will be... what is it going to be? It was Loliet versus Shishi, I believe. So yeah. I'll see you guys there. Take care.